Hello, my dear friends. Good morning and good evening, my dear buddies, my dear dudes. It's again a pleasure to meet with you in this online session. And we are dealing with, or we had been dealing with so many important topics. And all these topics are going to be very useful and important from a practical standpoint, right? When you are dealing with so many things in your life, day in and day out, regardless of your age. You may be 30 years, 40 years, or you are a teenage, or you may be 60 years, doesn't matter. You will have to encounter on all these topics that we are discussing at some or other point in your life. Some people encounter at an early stage in their life, some people midway, some people at a very late stage of their life. But awareness is awareness, right? It's always a treasure that you need to dig for, being aware of various things that are happening in and through many people's life, right? You may not be aware, but when you go through such a situation, that unawareness itself will be a big blocker. Yeah, some people l- get into so many stupid decisions. Why? Because of this lack of awareness, unawareness. Especially in this COVID situation, government had spent crores of rupees in bringing that awareness that people social distancing, mask and sanitizing hands, washing hands, and being very careful. And still, people would not take an account of those things, and they treat things very casually. And what happened? It cost their lives. They are no more, right? They're dead and gone. Why? Because of that negligence. Negligence is one aspect, but the other aspect is not being aware. Very unfortunate that this message from government did not even travel to many rural areas, and the villages, and a lot of villagers, they lost their lives because they weren't aware of this thing. And many people in the city, they are well aware, but still negligence is another factor. So negligence and awareness are two different animals which we are tackling through these sessions. All right, in the interest of time, today we are going to deal with a very interesting topic, right? Some people are great experts, or they have done doctorates with an attitude, or through an habit. You know what is that? They leave everything and anything half done. There are certain experts, right? You need to really learn from them. Some people don't, right? Somehow they do it in a slow pace, but over a period of time, they tend to complete the job in style, or some people complete it not in a perfect way, um, but then they do it according to their capacity and capability. And some people really are very focused, right? What they begin, they are not going to leave it half done, right? It's in their DNA. And how much ever you try to drag them out of that, it's other way around. They will say, hey, they will lose their hands. They will say, no, let me finish the work and then come back. They are leadership materials, right? Mahatma Gandhi ji is a good example. What he began, he couldn't give up, right? And until the day of independence, he stuck to that vision, that plan, that mission. Likewise, Hitler, bad example. He stuck to his plan that he want to win the world, and he it ended up, the whole world witnessed losing so many lives. 6 million Jews were killed, and so many people were massacred. And because of this one man's stupid decision that he is going to stick to his plan, all the time we need to ask ourselves, right, what is our mission and what is our vision? But today's topic is not about that. The mission and vision that you begin, you need to justify it very clearly that it is for a constructive reason, right? And Gandhiji is a good example, is a constructive reason. All the scientists like Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein and Thomas Alva Edison, these all guys stuck to that constructive decision, or a constructive vision, or a plan. They're going to invent something that it's going to help the world, right? Thomas Alva Edison, he invented light. George Stephenson, he invented the steam engine. And today you see all the rail engines that are moving across different parts of the world are for constructive purpose. What if Thomas Alva Edison would have just pulled back? Definitely some other guy is going to invent that anyway. But Thomas Alva Edison would have lost that credit, that delight of his name being even remembered after several centuries, right? That's the beauty of not leaving things half done. You begin something, you stick to the plan, right? But before beginning, you think even 1 million times. That is not a crime, right? You take enough time. Don't take 20 years to think about one decision, or to make, so to think about one thing and make one decision. You don't have to take 2 decades, right? You need to be a little quick on that aspect too, which about which we are going to explain in the upcoming sessions, right? But today's topic is about people who always are having this kind of habitual practice of, I started, uncle, I started, my friend, but what to do, halfway I visualize it is more than my capacity. It's more than what I would have estimated, you know imagine someone is going to start a construction without even estimating the cost, with all excitement, anxiety. My neighbor constructed, therefore I also started constructing. Your neighbor has estimated and planned very well, right? He's taked up some money, or he has taken a loan from bank, where he has the capability to repay all this planning he did. Therefore he constructed, and he is dwelling very well in that home. You don't do any of that, right? You're probably jealous, or you're that man of anxiety, and you're so rash in making decisions. You don't plan things. I mean, who are you to be called as? I don't want to call you by any name. You basically decide who you are. And what happens? You become a, your name is registered in the hall of shame. You're not able to complete your construction, right? And it's half done or half left, and it's such a shame. And what you had also, you lost. This is the consequence of not planning and beginning things, and leaving half done, right? What is the reason for you to leave things in between and back off? Okay, that reminds me of a wonderful story, right? One story and one true incident. We are going to talk about these two, because we always have this pattern of setting the context, and then getting into some sort of stories, and therefore it's very inspiring, isn't it? There was a person who was digging a mine kind of thing. He didn't start all of he didn't start it by himself, but some people were discussing. Always there was a kind of a myth existing over a specific area. There is some golden treasure in that place, but nobody had the time, or nobody had that kind of anxiety to go and start dig that mine, and to 20 feet, 30 feet, and 40 feet, and find out whether there is a treasure really or not. But generation after generation, people had been continuously talking. One fellow, Mukund, let's call him Mukund decides on a fine day, I'm going to kill this mythology. Enough of this. Let the generation speak. Mukund killed this mythology. Either I have dug and got the treasure, or I'm not going to get the treasure. But either ways, one thing is going to happen for sure, that I'm going to leave behind a legacy, that this person Mukund was the one who put an end to all this mythology. Therefore he started digging. He's digging, digging, digging for a year. He went 10 feet, and then 20 feet, and 30 feet. 2 years went, and 2.5 years went. He went 40 feet. And then one fine day, and all people are every day making fun of him, mocking him. You know our people, right? It doesn't matter whether you're in India or US or anywhere, right? People generally have this attitude of mocking, making fun of somebody, especially when somebody is doing something like crazy thing like this, right? Without a result, he becomes an icon of mockery, and people are making fun day after day. He is encouraging himself, but there comes a breaking point in every human being's life. On that day, he lost his encouragement. He broke completely. Mukund was down in tears, low in spirit, and then he said he threw all this, equipments down, and the digging equipments down, and he said, "I'm giving up. Let the history talk about me as an idiot, but let the same history also talk about me, that I was the one who dug 40 feet and found nothing. Therefore, nobody else will make an effort to dig that." Right? And then this guy went off. Years are passing by, and the trench what he has dug has been left like that. Then after a decade, someone else comes by name, um, some other name, right? Some XYZ name, and that person asks about why this trench I see. He's a stranger to that town or a village, and then he inquires what happens, and they speak about Mukund's story, and this guy tells, "Oh, 40 feet has gone. Okay, then let me give it a try." And you know what? This guy starts digging. 1 feet down, he hears a different noise, and that is the treasure box. He opens up the treasure box and became a billionaire in one overnight. What is the moral of the story, beloved? There is a heavy price you will have to pay when you leave the work half done. Not only you are going to get demotivated, dejected, but someone else is going to take the credit, right? Not only you are the loser, but for lifelong you become an icon of mockery. Now look, how would have people spoken about Mukund? Mukund was thinking somehow I found a place in the history that I was the one who dug 40 feet. No, that has been erased by this another XYZ person who came and he dug and he accomplished a mission, right? Just 1 feet down the line, just 1 feet down the earth, there was the treasure box. Had he not lost that patience, definitely he would have got that treasure, right? So the moral of the story is never give up, don't get demotivated, don't get discouraged, don't get distracted. You know all of this. I'm just repeating it, whatever you know. It's not that you're not aware, but I'm just connecting it with the story. There is a true story also. His name is Dashrath Manji. Dashrath Manji. He was born in 1929 and he died very recently, 2007. And he's called as Mountain Man. There also a movie came. I watched that movie myself. Very inspiring movie. There is a small story, inspiring story, true incident, by the way. In 1959, his wife died due to an injury because the place wherever they traveled were peripherals of mountain. And to cross from one village to the other village for work, they will have to climb up the mountain, and his wife rolled down the mountain and she died. On that day, Dashrath decides, I am going to break this mountain and pave the way connecting these two villages. I am going to pave a road. He decides. And trust me, this is a true story. 110-meter long, 9.1-meter wide, and 7.7-meter deep. In feet, 360 feet long, 30 feet wide, and 25 feet deep through the hills. He had to kind of carve the or not carve, kind of remove the mountains with hammer and chisel. He didn't have a bulldozer or technologies like today, or he didn't plant a bomb, therefore the bomb explodes and then the mountain is broken. That's how they lay roads today, right? With hammer and chisel, the guy had worked 22 years. 22 years. And Dashrath worked hard. From 55-kilometer, people now have to travel only 15 kilometer. 55-kilometer, people have to travel roundabout across the mountain, or some people made efforts of climbing the mountain and many people died, or they lost their legs or hands because of injuries, right? They are not able to travel 55 kilometer, they want to climb up the mountain, they lost their lives. Now it is just 15 kilometer, and this person traveled to New Delhi to ask for recognition. See, that's Indian government. No, they don't generally recognize anybody so easily. Now this fellow fought for it also. Look at the courage, right? And he was recognized by the chief minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar. And now in 2016, they released a stamp, and its stamp also is having his image. He's no more. He passed away in 2007. He's no more. But the thing is, look at this achievement, right? Never give up, never leave it half done. Imagine how many people would have marked this fellow 22 years, having nobody to support him, right? Wife is gone, dead. So much of sorrow. But he decides one thing, just like Mahatma Gandhiji decides. Until the day I get independence, whether I'm dead or alive, it doesn't matter. As long as I'm alive, I'm going to fight for independence. Even if not, I'm not alive, someone else is going to carry the lamp. That's the trust and belief Mahatma Gandhiji had. Likewise, this fellow, as long as I am alive, I'm going to dig it. And he lived so many years even after that, right? Now, I don't think I need to explain the moral of the story. This is a true story. You can watch that movie. Now, there are few things which we researched. We are going to complete in few minutes. Two different categories we want to quickly lay down. It's going to be very helpful. So pay attention. What are the reasons for the work being half done? Or somebody has habitually get into this practice of starting something, leaving in between, starting something, throwing in between. Why? When we analyze this, there are 5 or 6 reasons we found, regardless of any age group, but predominantly this is for teenagers, especially for the age group of 13 all the way to 22 or 23, right? There is a lot of parental pressure, right? Parents want to see their desires and dreams in children. Therefore, a child who is not interested in engineering, or a child who is not interested in medical science or botany had been asked to do. Why? Because the father is a botanist, the father is a doctor. Now, who will carry the lamp, right? Who is my descendant who will run the clinic or hospital after me? Therefore, you need to become a doctor. But the fellow would want to become a pilot. or the girl want to become an engineer, right? What happens is they lack in that passion. They don't have the passion on the work which the parents have emphasized on them. So the parental pressure is what basically makes them to leave the work half done. Half done means what? They will somehow become a graduate, they'll become a doctor, but they will kill at least 20 patients, right? They become a surgeon. Why? Because the father is a surgeon, but this fellow is not interested, right? And he ends up killing people or conducting surgery, wrong diagnosis, right? What a burden to our society. And is that fellow to be blamed? No. Parental pressure. So the lesson for both parents and children is, parents, don't emphasize anything. Please understand the passion of your children. And children, if it is not your passion, please say no with all due respect, right? Don't say disrespectfully. Don't throw the plate off the track and all that. So don't break things and all that. So that is a lesson that we can learn. The second reason is peer pressure, which comes due to comparisons, right? I mean, there are three or four friends together, and two of them are good, in mathematics, and this guy gets that pressure. I also should be good at mathematics. Hey, you're good at history, you're good at biology, and this guy is not good at that. So build upon your strengths, and not necessarily you need to compare yourself with other people's strengths. They are unique. We always keep telling you this, right? God created every one of us in a unique nature. The talent you have, definitely 110%, your friend will not have the same talent. So you need to dig that talent, your strengths, and you need to stick to that vision, plan, and game plan, and start focusing on that, right? Therefore, you're out of the peer pressure, and you're you will not eventually end up comparing yourself and getting into the pressure. So when you get into peer pressure, what happens is you will start doing things out of pressure, and over a period of time you will get into frustration, disappointment, dejection, and therefore you will get all worked up, and you will leave it in between, right? And therefore, by leaving it half done, you get any happiness? No. It will add up to more frustration. Why? You will start gnashing the teeth. I want to do something, but I couldn't do it, right? All of us go through these reactions. No, human anatomy is the same. The way how you react, I react, is just the same, because we are all human beings at the end of the day. Third thing is distractions, right? In the middle of your work, in the middle of your vision mission, you'll start looking around, right? Again, it's a comparison, or it could be like, hey, there is an advanced technology, or did I start it all right? Many questions. No, don't start asking questions when you have started something. Ask all the questions before you start something. That is the point we are trying to make, right? That's why we said take enough time before you step into something, but the moment you step in, no looking back, right? A lot of examples are there, which we have given already. Fourth point is, fourth reason why the work is left half done, or the work is undone, right? Anxiety, and no patience at all. Impatience and anxiety, they work together, right? Anxiety brings impatience, and impatience lead you to anxiety, right? You want instantaneously things to happen. Sometimes things may take its own course of time, or most of the times. When you do things in a very planned manner, see how you can fix this is you. That's where we are going to talk about tips to overcome in a moment. Hang on. If you're an anxious person, you want to do it quickly, you want to finish it fast, right? Isaac Newton, conducted so many experiments, 2000 plus experiments. Not all of them were successful. Maybe not even one fourth of them were successful. But then some of the key inventions were even less than one fourth. But the three-fourth, he did not count it as waste. Why? Because the three-fourth, whichever experiments failed, led him to this one fourth of success. I'm just picking a vague number. I do not know the exact number, right? Everyone in their life, there are a lot of failures, right? But through which they build patience, and they don't lose their patience in the middle of their failure, and that's why they had been successful. Lastly, fifth point, sluggish attitude, laziness to hard work, explore, put in all your sincere efforts. And you can also get yourself into coaching mode. Ask someone who has more knowledge than you and learn from them. But sluggish, ego and sluggishness, both of them are two different animals, but they are bad. These are also the factors which will make you to leave the work half done or undone. What are the tips to overcome? With that, we are done, right? Now we have seen the reasons, right? Tips to overcome. What are the tips to overcome? What advice you have for us? I'm also in that, right? In that category, I'm also there. I'm no Mr. Perfect, right? First thing is, pick it up only when you're happy and convinced about a mission or a vision. You must be completely at peace. Don't do it because this uncle told, your father told, mother told, your friend told, and your girlfriend told. No, nothing doing. Are you convinced? Are you confident that this matches to your strengths? Because I told you, you are the best judge of your own self, your mind, your talent, your skills, and your confidence. You are the best judge. If you are at peace, only then step into that. Else say no. Put a cross mark and say no, whoever it may be. Right? The second thing is planning. Plan the milestone and keep measuring it at regular intervals, right? It's a little bit of project management too, but project management doesn't necessarily belong to professionals. It also belongs to children and teenagers. You also can start planning, right? Put up a simple timetable. You all know, right? You all have timetable, which period, which class, which madam is or sir is going to come and teach you, correct? Put a simple timetable and you have a milestone chart, right? How long it's going to stretch. 3 months project, 2 months work, 1 month work. What are you going to do? It can be a simple cycling also, or it can be simple learning of, four-wheeler, driving four-wheeler. You put a target. 3 months I'm going to go to the driving class, then I'm going to take my father's car. Along with my father I'm going to drive, and then along with my father I'm going to drive on the busy roads. Slowly you put the target. In 3 months time, I'm targeting that I'll be comfortable driving in the traffic. Just a joke. Don't try it in the city of Bangalore. Okay. I'm just kidding. I gave you an example. And the next thing is, keep saying to yourself, third thing, keep saying to yourself, no matter what, I will finish. No matter what, I will finish. I am going to finish. I am on the right track. I am going to finish. Keep saying that. Why? Because you took the decision after enough introspective study. No, enough number of questions you have asked. Then what is the point of asking any more questions? No more questions. Only keep telling the statement, no matter what, I will finish. Tell this 10 times, you will feel good. No matter what, I will finish. I am going to finish. I am on the right direction towards my destiny. Fourthly, stay away from gossips, right? Don't go and discuss with someone, hey, I'm doing this, or don't invite somebody, please see if I'm on the right track or not. No, you are going to judge. You are going to be self complacent, self dependent, self reliable. You are Mr. Self Independent, right? You just take, you build that independency, right? And therefore you build that confidence. At the end of the day, you may fail. That's not half done, right? Half done is not about failure. You finish it but you still fail is still a successful job. Why? You have a learning there, how you failed. This is how the scientist, I gave you examples, no? Scientists became Abdul Kalam. You see, what was the first rocket he built? He built something at his home, in a small home, 4 by 10 by 10 room. He built something like that with his friend, and then only he became a rocket man, missile man, right? Okay, next, three more points. Keep it as a secret and don't disclose anything and everything that you decide. It must stay within your heart, within your, you can be an introvert, right? You may be an extrovert, crack jokes, have fun, no problem. But when it comes to decisions on a mission or a vision, that must stay as a secret. Only when you finish, call everyone and show success story or failure story, no problem. See, don't feel ashamed of failures, right? Failures is good. That's what's the first step to learn something great. Your learning starts with a failure. You grow stronger. There is no successful sailor without a rough wave. All these proverbs, but when it comes to practical thing, no, you will have a problem. Last but one, get involved in parallel tasks. Therefore your mind is balanced. Parallel tasks like what? Sports, singing, music, whichever you like, by the way. If you don't like music, don't go there. You will again kill yourself. You like swimming, go and swim, right? And come back and then start doing that work. You will feel that right? The mind shifts and comes back. That realignment is needed, and that will help you not to leave the work half done. Why? The pressure when it builds, no, go relax. Builds, relax, build, relax. Right? Lastly, very important, very, very important. You know what? Sleep well. 8 hours of sleep you need to have. Don't overwork, and cut down or curtail your sleeping time. That itself will build that kind of psychological pressure and physical pressure. Your physically you will not be having any energy, and don't overthink, right? Not sleeping well will make you to overthink, right? Sleep well. 8 hours of time is needed. 7 hours at least you sleep well, right? All your body thing, elements will get rejuvenated. Was the session useful? Right. We welcome you to subscribe to our channel. We are having lots and lots of materials, children series, motivational series like this. And if you're a Christian brother or sister, there are a lot of Bible teachings and preachings. You are not a Christian, you're welcome to listen to the Bible teachings and preachings. We are not convicting anyone. but we are coaching many things again, how to lead a successful life, how to press hard towards perfections from the biblical doctrines. We are taking and explaining it from a practical standpoint, how to think, how your thought process must be psychologically, how you can keep self motivated, how you can be an overcomer. We are teaching many things. Subscribe to our channels, and welcome our, or you need any help, WhatsApp us. I'm your friend. 9902212152 is our number. God bless you. Stay tuned. We will soon meet you with another interesting topic.